Well, yesterday the Oscars just happened. I gave all my thoughts about it, and congrats to Nora for winning Best Picture. But how about let's talk about the Oscars 5 years ago, and not just the Oscars, but the Best Picture winner itself. Hey guys, this is Frozen to Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review with the release of Mickey 17 coming around the corner this week. It comes out tomorrow in my area, and I am seeing it tomorrow myself. I am here today to do a review on Parasite in preparation for Mickey 17. So Parasite is Bong Joon Ho's previous work before his new one, Mickey 17, comes out, and it came out in the year 2019. I've said this many times, I'll say it again. My favorite year ever until 2027 tops it. And it is directed by, of course, Bong Joon Ho, which I already mentioned. And it stars a Korean cast, which I am not gonna say their names, but I will say Song Kang Ho, mainly because Song Kang Ho he because he's a well-known Korean actor. He's been in like most of Bong Joon Ho's movies. Oh, and also I'll give a shout out to Lee Sun Kyun because I think he's that Parasite actor who died in December 2023. Rest in peace to him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was it Lee Sun Kyun? I think it was him, but if I'm wrong, correct me on that. But I know someone from this movie. I know an actor from this movie died. It sucks. And the film tells the story it tells the story of a poor family, the Kim family, who struggle maintaining their lives of being poor, and they live in like a basement or sort of a semi basement where they can still see the outside world, but through the upper window. Similar to a window in my house. But don't worry, I don't live in a house like that. I mean, I'm just saying, but the window's similar to this movie's window. And and so yeah, they of course have, well, like what I said, they're struggling. They can't even get Wi-Fi, but I mean, they still kind of. But for like a poor family like them, they're not as bad as people like us. Okay, well, I don't want to, like, I might end up insulting like people living in poverty. I don't want to go that far. I don't know what else to say, but I mean, not as bad as you'd expect from people living in poverty. They still have phones. They are still able to to access themselves to order pizza delivery and all that stuff. So, well, they're still lucky, despite being poor. But they wish that they live a better life, and what they're looking for specifically is jobs. So one day, the friend of the main character, the son of the family, of the Kim family, offers him to a job to basically, I think, replace a friend for a job at the Park family's house, which is one of the richest house in Korea, according to this movie. And so yeah, he gets a job as the tutor, as the English. I'm not sure. I forgot which subject, but a tutor for the Park family's daughter. Forgot the name. Um, Yeah, I'm not gonna try way too hard to remember names because it is hard. No offense to Asians. I mean, I am Asian myself, but yeah, like Korean names and Chinese names are like always a struggle for me to like try and say. But yeah, so once the son of the Kim family realize that his life feels better working for the parks, he invites his whole family to work for the the park family. But they infiltrate the former staff, the staff members in the household, in order to get them out of the to get them out of the house. So you got the one of the father of the uh, Kim family being the driver. They get the get the former driver fired, and then the mother of that family becomes the new housemaid after like pretty much making the former housemaid sick, and then the daughter, the sister of the main character, is now an art therapist for the youngest son, the youngest child of the Park family, who was traumatized after seeing a ghost. Ghost. Oh yeah. Yeah, working for them made their lives so much better until one day the former maid goes back into the house to quote unquote get something in the basement, but that something turns out to be someone, a man living in the like trapped inside the basement, who turns out to be the ghost that the youngest Park Park's son, the youngest child of the Park family, was traumatized by, and so tensions rise. That's all I'll say. Tensions rise. That's the best I'll say. So yeah, I know probably a crappy explanation of the plot. Now, yes, the plot does take a. This is one of those films where it takes multiple rewatches to understand the plot, and even if I did kind of a crappy job explaining the plot, I actually do understand the plot. I fully understand it. It's just that the way I say it. Maybe if I were to write about it, I would do a much better job. But yeah, I mean, it's a review of me talking. So yeah, now yes, Bong Joon Ho is Bong Joon Ho is among the top 10 greatest directors of all time. I think Bong Joon Ho is one of those directors who could do no wrong, and he is such an excellent director. I have actually rewatched some of Bong Joon Ho's movies in preparation for this, for Mickey 17, which I will say is though, I regret not putting Mickey 17 in my top 10 most of Disney movies of the year. Sure, there are other movies I'm more excited for, but Mickey 17, I'm a lot more hyped for than I initially was. I don't know why I left it off my list. I think it looks so good. I think it's going to be a masterpiece and one of Bong Joon Ho's best film. It's going to be one of his best films yet. And yet, I rewatched Memories of Murder, Okja, and Snowpiercer. But I've decided that Parasite is the only Bong Joon Ho movie I wanted to review. I could review his other films maybe in preparation for the Bong Joon Ho movie that he does, the next Bong Joon Ho movie after Mickey 17. But for now, yeah, Parasite would do, because I had to review Parasite because this is not only a Best Picture winner, but one of the most monumental Best Picture winners ever. It is a Best Picture winner that made history. This is the first foreign language film to win Best Picture, which is insane. Yeah, it's so freaking insane. And so so freaking insane. And yeah, everybody was praising the hell out of this film. This movie is universally loved by almost everyone. Like, it's hard for me to find somebody who says this movie is overrated. Yeah, when it comes to these Best Picture winners, yeah, especially in the modern times, there will always be someone to say, "Oh, it's overrated. It doesn't deserve it." Even with even with something like Everything Ever All at Once, I've heard people say that movie's overrated. Although it sucks, I don't get why anyone would say that movie's overrated, because I think you guys probably know by now that Everything Ever All at Once is one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, but Parasite is one of those Best Picture winners where I cannot find a hater for it. Although, except for one user who goes by the name of Trolls Bandiger fan. Yeah, he's actually the only person I've heard who hates Parasite, because it does. Yeah, and yeah, I guess he recently admitted in his Oscars rant, yeah, that he uploaded yesterday, that he actually hates art house movies and he's never gonna watch an art house film again. Yeah, I think nobody. I'm sure. Am I the only one who remembers the Charles Banniger Parasite review back in March 2020, where he literally got backlash for a Parasite review for actually giving the wrong summarization. Sure, I may have struggled to summarize the plot, but at least I'm correct on what the plot actually is. It's about a poor family trying to infiltrate a rich family, and then they get caught up in a twist that causes a huge incident. I got that right, but basically, if you guys, I'm sure most of my subscribers were not around in 2020. I've never, because because now he has Alex. I'll just call him Alex. Screw that. Oh, favorite movie fan year. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'll just call him Alex. So Alex had different subscribers now, and that's actually than he had before, and that's no, not subscribers. I say viewers. That's why probably nobody now is aware of what Alex did in 2020. But here's how he summarized Parasite's plot story. He said that it's about a poor family who goes inside a rich family's house and they must investigate if the rich family is evil or not. and and there were rumors that he actually did not watch Parasite. And then he just said, "Oh, I like this movie. I think this movie is good." But he did not elaborate on why this movie is good. He's basically saying, "Oh, I like this movie because I had to like it," and gave it a 5 stars out of 5. And then later in like 2020, in late 2020, or even that, or 2021, aka the year where me and Alex fully cut ties with each other. He gave Parasite 0 stars out of 5 immediately, like from 5 to 0 stars. Fucking insane. But yeah, I'm moving Alex aside. Yeah, so I rewatched Parasite on Netflix a few days ago. And what do I think of Parasite? It is just as masterful as everyone else says it is, and this is easily Bong Joon Ho's best film yet, no competition, and it is the greatest live-action foreign language film ever created. I still think Spirited Away is my favorite foreign language film, but I watch the movie in English most of the time, and I think the English dub is better than the original Japanese language in Spirited Away. So I will say this: I think Parasite is the best, like legit foreign language film. Like legit, like what do I mean by legit? Well, a foreign language film that does not have an English dub, and it's like all the way through foreign language. While Spirited Away and most other Studio Ghibli films have dubs, English dubs. So yeah, and the fact that an Asian film won the best picture at that year's Oscars must really be a monumental achievement for Asians, and even I'm Asian myself, and even I am happy about it. And for a while, Joker was my favorite Best Picture nominee in the Oscars 2020. But you know what? This is not my favorite one. And yeah, and I would and if I were to redo my best movies of 2019 list, which I will in the future, I will do my top 10 best movies of 2019 list in the future. This I would actually put this at number 4. Yeah, my top 3. I think if you guys haven't guessed it already, my top 3 are Frozen 2 number 1, Endgame number 2, and Knives Out number 3. Not sure if you would have predicted Knives Out being at number 3, but it is. And then Parasite at 4th. There's a good reason why this was never considered an Oscar bait film, and it's one of the most universally loved movies of the 21st century. Nobody says that, oh, it's just a pretentious art house film that's so boring and draggy. Nobody said that. You know why? Because on the surface, it's a very irritating and fast-paced film that casual moviegoers would enjoy. It has comedic bits that are actually funnier than your typical straight comedy flick we get nowadays. But it is mainly a thriller where the suspenseful moments will leave everyone on the edge of their seats and root for the main characters. And yeah, and main characters. And there were just suspenseful moments that really got me at the edge of my seat. I'll give some examples. Uh, I think the infamous discovery of the basement, where the former maid who was allergic to peaches went back inside the house to and claims that she forgot something in the basement, and so she takes the Kim family to the basement only and only to find out that it's actually a man living in the basement. And yeah, and that scene with the camera following one of the Kim family going down the stairs in a one shot take, and you can see that the basement is all dim and just is all just bleak. Yeah, and gives you horror movie vibes. Yeah, that was haunting and dark. It's I think we can all everybody has felt suspense in that one. If you did not feel suspense in this one and you saw the twist coming, I don't know what the fuck you were thinking. And also another suspenseful moment. I think this suspenseful moment is overlooked. Basically, where this basement man tries to escape. When the Park family arrives back from camping, and and yeah, yeah, that was so suspenseful. But once the basement guy like peeks out and attempts to go out, he gets knocked over by one of the parks and lands back in the base. And yeah, that was so insane. I think that's even more suspenseful than them going into the basement for the first time. Even if this film has its Oscar wins, including Best Picture, there are still categories that this film was snubbed at. Nobody in the cast got a Best Performance nomination, which is a shame. Yeah, I actually did list out some actors. Even if I said I did not want I did not want you know, yeah, yeah, Lee. To mention the names earlier, at least I did write them down for this part. And by the way, if you guys are wondering, I use my Letterboxd reviews as a guide for as my script for my reviews. Although I do it, I tend to improvise. So which is why I sometimes sound like I don't have a script, but I use my Letterboxd um, reviews as my script. So yeah, Lee Sun Kyun, Sho Yo Jeong, Park So Dam, Choi Woo Shik, and Ji Long So in particular deserves Oscar nominations. They are so good in this movie. They are just amazing. But I think if there's anyone who I think deserves a nomination the most, it's Ju Ji So, who played my favorite character in the film, Dahai, the the elder daughter of the Park family. Yeah, and I think she would have won Best Supporting Actress. Well, either her or even though I would say Florence Pugh would deserve it to make a yeah, but I think the most Oscar worthy performance in this one, even if again there are better performances from the American cast, but yeah, the best performance is Ju Ji So, and my favorite character is Dahai. Yeah, Dahai is such an amazing character, more complex than you think. Sure, yeah. I mean, on the surface, there was not much. There was not much to her character. There's not much to her, and she's like there trying to stalk people, and she has like this kind of weird relationship with her tutor. But yes, I mean, there's it's hard to explain, but there's just something about her character um that I connect with more than other characters. And the actress who played her best performance of the cast by far. Oh, and another standout character for me is Jessica. I'll just call her Jessica. I know that Jessica is just the character's stage name. Basically, the sister in the Kim family. But I gotta say, she's the hottest character in the film, and she's like probably the hottest character in any Bong Joon Ho movie. Maybe she could. Maybe she's probably my favorite character in the film. I don't know. On either those two characters I mentioned, but Jessica is my crush in the film. She's the hottest character. Yeah. But what else? Oh yeah, another Oscar category that this film was robbed at is best original score. This score is just so memorable as it contributes to the film's entertainment value, especially with how the pacing goes faster when the score goes faster, and then the pacing would slow down when the score would slow down a bit when the story slows down. When you hear the score going fast, like the beat of the score moving like extremely fast, you could immediately feel that the pacing is moving faster. That's how impressive scores can be in film. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and but what made the film so impactful the most is how original the story is. Hard for the movie industry lately, especially Hollywood, to write something like this. A story that feels fresh, unique, brilliant, complex, and unpredictable. The story is hard to understand at first, and it takes a few rewatches to understand it. It's essentially a social commentary on class and capitalism, depicting on how the lower class struggle while the upper class have all the wealth. The basis of the story is about a lower class family fighting to get a rise, but with an act that makes them morally great. Which I'll get to morally great characters later. Later. The stairs are constantly used as a metaphor to depict the classes. Oh, by the way, I'm not gonna. Yes, I and by the way, yes, I am talking about this from some metaphors right now. However, unlike some film analyzers who have used this film as a case study, I am not going to go as far as I am not going to go deep into the analysis. I'm just going to stick with the basis. So yeah, I did understand this film's allegory. But yeah, anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, the stairs are constantly used as a metaphor to depict the classes. Whenever the lower class climbs the stairs of the wealthy house, they start to feel like they've climbed to the upper class. And also lines tend to be used in the film, showing that characters have crossed the line. For example, the former housemaid sees that the mother of the Park family is sleeping unnecessarily on the table outside, and she like she wakes claps she snaps at her to wake her up. If you notice, when the housemaid there's like a line between the housemaid and the park mother, and then when the housemaid snaps at the house mother, the arm crosses the line, and the line on the other side shows that someone has just crossed the line. And whenever a character crosses the line, there's always a line there. And yeah, that's just brilliant. I think Bong Joon Ho is just a genius when it comes to these metaphors and allegories. But one thing that makes this film stand out from most other films I've seen is how there are no actual protagonists and antagonists. There was a main character, but every single character in this film are morally gray. All of them are either good or bad. Both of the main families seem like heroes, but they do something antagonistic. Like for example, the Kim family tries to accuse the former employees who previously worked for the parks into doing something that would get them fired, and just to infiltrate their house and pretend to be rich, but pretend to be in the middle class when actually they're in the lower class. And then you've got the Park family who seem like they're perfect, they're wealthy, rich people at first, but then you'd see that until they discover that the rich family has a basement and has a basement, and they've hid it under they've hid the that basement guy under. Although it was said that if I'm not mistaken, the previous owners of the house was the one who dumped that guy inside the basement. But oh well, whatever. But yeah, it's refreshing to see a movie with those kinds of characters, making it more challenging to find out who to root for, and I'm saying that as a good thing. The cinematography is the equivalent of poetry, as each shot means something to the context of the film, whether it's a shot of the windows or stairs, which I already analyzed. The production of the house looks absolutely gorgeous, and I actually thought that this movie won Best Production Design, honestly, but then I looked back at it and realized that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood actually won, which is surprising because I think this movie should have won with how they built the Park family house. Like it's just so good and just and yeah, it's insane how much Bong Joon Ho spends for the props. 20 fun fact, guys. That trash can that was used as a prop for an important plot point cost $25,000. Wow, like insane. The editing was very sharp, contributing to the film's contributing to the film being very entertaining. The tone is well balanced between comedic and darkness, leaning more into the dark aspects. The plot twists are some of the most unpredictable you'll ever see, especially with the man in the basement, yeah, which I already talked about in this review. So overall, Parasite is one of those films that has almost everything a film should have. Not only being perfection on the technical but has a story that's super original, characters who are morally great, which makes the film feel fresh with the kinds of characters it has. And it has something that will appeal to all kinds of film fans. Metaphors for the cinephiles to analyze, and entertainment value for the casual moviegoers. 2019 truly is the greatest year for a film, and it's not just only because of Frozen 2. Films like this and other live action films show that 2019 is objectively a golden year for cinema. So with that said, guys, I'm going to give Parasite, of course, 5 stars out of 5. Mickey 17, good luck trying to top this as the best Bong Joon Ho movie. I highly doubt that will happen, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. So also for my review of Parasite, what are your thoughts on the film? I'm sure everybody loves the film, but do you have like a more interesting take on this? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my movie review on Mickey 17. Bye guys.